quick. Boom.
Well, I had to blow you off yesterday because I realized I had been invited by Uncle Dan to play golf yesterday at El Dorado. So,
Well, you should do that. It's your birthday round. You got
yeah,
another one coming up on Sunday at 11.
yep.
I need to send you guys a calendar invite for that.
I will say that I played atrocious yesterday. Good God, but I
And
haven't
why did
played.
you play so bad?
Well, I haven't played since I tweaked my back. It's been almost 3 weeks ago, and I was feeling better, but I certainly struggled with the swing. I mean, I hit a couple of shots I think by accident. Should I put those on too?
If you want, I just feel like I'm gonna do it.
These are not
I
the.
just think I'll be heard a little bit better, but you don't have to do it. You're in a quiet room.
Uh, I don't want to. I'm in my room, so I feel like I've got a little bit of
Your
stuff going.
connection sounds good. Everything sounds good, man.
Okay, then I'll just leave it like this. Anyhow, we. It was interesting. I have to get off the freeway at Willow to go to the golf course, and of course, right up on the top of the corner of El Dorado Golf Course, where the riverbed meets the road on
Hmm.
Willow, there was, I don't know, three police cars and three maintenance trucks up there, and one homeless guy being interviewed up on the side of the street. And so there is a den on the golf course where they live back there. And Dan says every couple of months
Den of
they,
Thieves.
yeah, every couple of months they root them out. And they only had one guy up there,
Ah.
but man, did they jack up that side of the golf course over there. They break into the snack bar. They've actually closed the snack bar because they kept stealing supplies. And they stole beer because they had tap beer in that snack bar. But he says they come back. They pretty quickly come back. And anyhow, that was yesterday was the day they were getting rousted. So uh,
Yeah,
I found it interesting.
times are getting harder, and they say more AI will take jobs, which is, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Like Andrew Yang said it very confidently, but then I see another report that AI um, added zero value to most companies. So it's kind of like on the fence about whether or not it's going to completely change things. Because I'm using it at work and I feel like I'm just kind of like just doubling my work because I'm like copying everything over to the AI tool. And I have yet to see the advancements of including it. So I'm like on one I'm part of me is like AI isn't that good, it's not worth it. There's nothing to worry about. But the other time I'm not learning a lot of the new AI skills. Like I use plenty of the chat bots. Like now everyone wants us to use Claude, and I watch my friend Eric use AI to make like fake podcast episodes of these two characters that he made. And it's like not bad, but like the second you find out it's AI, you're just like, well, what do I care? I don't want to hear
Oh, but
about these two fake people talk.
according to Aunt Jenny, she used the AI card maker to make my birthday card. That was me, with the
With
trumpet
Trump. But
at
that's
Mar
funny.
at Mar-a-Lago. But it was
Not
Chris.
you were not Mar-a-Lago, you were on the island. There's
No,
too
we
many
were on.
palm trees in the
It
background.
was Mar-a-Lago. I
Sure.
confirmed it,
Okay.
and we had
You
just touched
gotta I gotta wait, hold on. Where's my phone?
we had just touched
That's
ground
worth sharing to the
because we were coming back from the island. It was a couple of years ago.
um where's the
But,
text? This
but to me, the
is
funniest thing is the length of Trump's tie.
well, that's kind of like his deal.
Yeah. But his
You look more Iranian though. The
I know,
AI
I did.
kind of made you a little bit more
I
Persian
do.
than
I
you
looked a
wanted to
little
be.
Ayatollah. There was a little
But you look a
Ayatollah.
little too happy to be there with Trump. So
But his tie, the end of his tie was all the way down to his crouch. I thought that was hysterical. But
That's a New York tie right there.
yeah, but because we had,
Uh,
birthday dinners on Sunday, I got to see additional cards that were pretty funny. That were like your Aunt Barbara. It was her face in this,
mhm.
kind of, I don't know, crazy blonde wig, and her face was real big, and she was had a hand a goblet of wine that was probably a 2 gallon goblet of a big old red pour, which she loves red wine, so that was pretty gosh darn funny looking.
Mhm.
And I saw a couple others, but whoever's doing those AIs with the birthday cards, and Jenny says they're less expensive than buying a card, so she liked it.
Yeah, because the artwork was made by a robot.
Yeah.
So I get it, but like, I don't know, man. I kind of hope there's some AI regulation. I hope something is done, but I just don't feel like that will happen during Trump's administration. It's all business forward, regardless of if it's bad business or good business. So I
Well,
feel
let's talk about that, Ted, because over the years we've had this conversation over and over. And I'm seeing something. I put it on the chat sheet so you can look at it if you want to have a second. But I'm seeing a lot of similarities to the easy way and the hard way here in the world. And the easy way is everybody respects the law and everybody's held accountable, or the hard way, you let you let people uh, be on on the honor system, do whatever they want, and then what happens is the infection festers, and pretty soon you got to amputate the leg. And I put down a couple examples. I mean, look at Mexican cartels. Trump's been telling Mexico, you got to get these guys under control. And
by the
finally,
way,
they had a damn near war over rooting that dude out.
we need to talk a little bit about that because I was watching some videos last night of Mencho's phone call to the police. Did you hear that?
I did not.
So he's talking to the police. He's telling them to back off. He's like, "Don't I pay you guys?"
Exactly.
So, I mean, I guess like so we got the confirmation. Basically in the video, that's kind of what was the subject is we've got confirmation that Mexico's been, you know, allowing the cartels to do business and Trump basically has been putting pressure on them to say, "Hey, we're going to take care of it if you don't do it." And Mexico said, "You don't do it, we'll do it." And US said, fine, but you have to do it. We'll give you the intelligence to do it, but you better do it. And so they finally did it. So years and years of allowing the Jalisco, the young, I don't know what the whole name is. It's like young Jalisco new generation, something like that.
But
Um,
how different is this from illegal immigration and ICE voting? Okay, you're going to see actually ICE around certain voting areas this time around the next voting, because Trump's just going to say no more, no more ballot harvesting, none of this BS. It's going to be one American, one vote, right?
Once
And
again,
then
I
you got
respect having, citizens have to show IDs, but once again, ICE, the way they're going to do it is they're not going to be civil, and that's not what I think we deserve. But
but
the
we had our
people he
chance.
employs that are literally like ex-cons and
But
I don't
Ted,
know,
please,
people
please,
who are really, really desperate for money, which
we
there's a
had
lot of
our
people right now.
we had our chance to vote, fairly, go in, one person, one vote, and we've lost that. We've lost it. We've lost that ability to do that because we play games. Just like, Venezuela's playing games. He's blown up every drug boat that flies out of there, right? And it even comes down to, I don't know if you saw the morning news, but Lindsey Vaughn, look at Lindsey Vaughn, right? She has been racing on a severely bent knee. And the latest this morning was she had four amputations. The last one, if it had not been done correctly, they were going to have to amputate. That's how bad she screwed up that leg.
Yeah, I heard. So she gets to keep her leg. So that's good.
Yeah. And
End
she'll
it
try to ski again. Watch.
end of a long career. Hopefully she just does it for fun now. Um,
But you know what? Whenever America kind of, sits back, lets people be on the, you're on the honor system, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. The bad guys don't. The bad guys don't. And it screws it up for everybody.
Speaking of the bad guys, Canada's hockey team jersey to me looked like they were the villains. There was like, why is it like black and red? They wanted to be the villains this year for whatever reason. Just looking optically at the jerseys, I was like, wow, Canada looks like the evil team. And
What do
I
you
can't
mean
wait.
for what do you mean forever, whatever reason? Trump has agitated him to the
I
point that
could
this
I got
was
nothing.
Canada.
I don't even know about the politics. It's just Canada obviously is always the dominant team in hockey. Most of the ice countries are, and US hasn't always had, we've had some success, but there have always been like miracle Olympic Games. The last one was like 46 years ago. And so this was setting up to be an epic clash, and it was. And yeah, super proud of the US hockey boys.
The
And
girls, don't forget the girls.
the girls, they won too, which is amazing. But I don't was that oh my God, I saw the way the girls game ended and it's like kind of sad. It looks like a mistake with su with a substitution mistake.
Yeah, and
Like
it
what the
actually
hell? Like
there,
honestly, the way it ends is like pathetic for
there
Canada.
was
Like what was that girl doing? She like came in and started sliding to the center rink and it's like someone with the puck is in your back corner. Why aren't you going to help press?
well
And
they
like
have Ted, think of it this way.
that was like I then she
90
just
99% of hockey is played with a goalie and five players. Okay. When you get in overtime, they play 3-on-3. And I think some people get wigged out. They forget their responsibility in
uh
that
I was
situation.
hearing that it was 3-on-3, but to be honest, I was like, where is everybody? Because everyone was along the side, closest to the camera, and then the puck, and then the camera goes left as the new subs come in, and the puck goes down, close to the camera side again, and I don't know. That girl is like assuming that the defender is gonna win the puck and pass to her, and she's gonna be able to like have an offensive look. But it's like you guys got to clear your
Well,
own
the
your
key to
box.
over,
You can't even think about offense yet. So you get this girl out of your back,
but the
and
key to overtime hockey
she
is
did like a little whoop,
no, the key
and
though
then
is,
she nutmegged the keeper too. It's like honestly, it's like embarrassing way to end.
but
Good for
it's,
USA though.
but yeah, but see that the key to the 3-on-3 is to get a 2-on-1 fast break. And in both cases, we got the 2-on-1 because it was mental. It was a mental
It
error.
was a slow break for the women's goal. The way that is just it's like in slow motion. And then the guys is in fast motion. Kind of crazy that that guy was left open to hit that shot and he also got a nutmeg, which is crazy. And he got his teeth knocked out of his face earlier
Well,
in that game, which is like so hockey.
if you see that play, I mean, the guy just uppercutted him with the stick, hit him right underneath the chin. And it's so funny. The announcer says, I think he's got two half chiclets in his mouth, which I mean made me laugh because I've been calling teeth chiclets for a long time. I didn't know hockey guys.
Those teeth broke like fucking candy. So I don't know what that guy's been
Oh
eating.
man, he got hit like with a baseball bat underneath the chin.
No,
I mean,
I saw the hit.
he
It
got
was
whacked.
bad, and I'm telling you, Canada was mean. They were. I know everyone gives them the benefit of the doubt, oh, I'm so sorry there, bud. But I'm telling you, they were not that guy on that rink last night. They were not, oh, sorry, bud. They were mean. They were the evil team, and the US triumphed. So,
Did you see Sidney Crosby when they put the silver medal on his neck?
dude, I've seen
He,
what happens when they give the silver to anybody. When
oh
the
man,
girls got it, and they give him a little like it's so sad that they give him a stuffed animal. It's like the stuffed animal is like what they're gonna cry and hold when they go to bed that night.
it's your anxiety pill.
Damn.
It was
The
brutal.
Olympics are brutal to lose, especially when,
So,
because it's only 4 years and this is your one chance to
so
make your name.
yesterday on a golf course, Doug played with us, and you remember Doug? He's a Canadian hockey player, right?
I don't remember
And
Doug.
okay, so was one of Nick's coaches when he was coming up in junior golf. But uh, Doug and his wife immigrated from Toronto probably 12 years ago, something like that. And he was Nick's coach, and now he's friends, and
By
he
the
plays
way,
golf with us quite a
Sidney
bit.
Crosby looks a lot like Nick. What the hell?
He does. But anyhow, he was bitter yesterday. His bitterness was that, he believes that NHL should not, it should be an amateur game. It should be college players. And there was like five NHL guys that are not playing for some for the rest of the season and some for a couple of weeks. A lot of guys had some pretty big injuries in these Olympics. So,
Yeah, and that is the fear of every fan, or I'm sorry, of every owner. And I was watching the kind of the history of the World Baseball Classic last night, and for years, MLB owners have been like, I'm not sending my players into that so they can get hurt. But like, don't they see the marketing aspect of it? Um, they're getting international fans by throwing their players into these games. Like I was just watching how there's a YouTuber who is obsessed with the Rockies, the piece of shit Rockies. This Japanese guy loves the Rockies and makes all these videos about them. Great. I wonder why, but I'm sure if there's any Rocky players playing, which there probably aren't, but he would be excited to see that on the international stage. And I'm sure some international fans will see some international players and there's going to be a lot of interest. I just don't see how it isn't good for everybody to be a part of the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, I do see that injury factor, but it's baseball, it's not like, you
well,
know,
it's the fear is the pitchers that you'll try to get in a game and try to go too many pitches and then, screw up the rest of your season.
no,
So
I
I
get
think
that. I
it's
get
about
that.
pitchers.
And the only one who's really getting like uh the training wheels or whatever is like Tarek Skubal. They're only letting him play one game, and that seems fine. At least we get him for one game.
But Scooball's a guy that he'll probably make, like in the neighborhood of 30 starts this year if he's healthy. Whereas, you know, Otani might get 15 starts this year. So there's a big difference. Scooball and his team, they depend on him. I mean, he is that team.
I'm just thinking like the drama that can be seeded by allowing your players to be in the World Baseball Classic. Someone and someone One of the storylines from this will be will cause drama in the league later on. Like maybe this player from Dominican versus this guy on another team. Then they're playing each other in the league, and then some drama from the classic is gonna like they'll talk about it. So I just think it's just only good stuff.
Well, it's again, baseball, the likelihood somebody gets hurt, it's not likely. I don't think anybody at the World Baseball Classic is going to throw at another guy, right? So if you have an accident, it's going to be a freak thing or somebody over pitches. Hopefully these coaches can keep these guys keep it professional somehow. I
Well,
hope it doesn't have a scar on the season. It
Well, we'll
could.
see
I
where
mean,
it is because national pride goes a long way.
it does. You
And
know,
a lot of these,
Japanese guys, they want to win.
they
They
want to win
really want to
bad.
win.
Um, I think Puerto Rico, whatever team that has Tatis says we're gonna win. So okay. And yeah, just there's a lot of pride, so we'll see. We'll see if people don't get heated over this, you know. I don't know. It hasn't happened before, but I think this is the year with the most like professionals like playing, you know? Like US's team is like stacked
They want to
and
win. Well, they always lose and they want to win. So why not?
Dominican is stacked, Japan is stacked, Korea is stacked. Trying to think of the other teams that were Venezuela is really
Is
good.
Cuba there?
I think I saw Cuba. Trying to
Venezuela would be good.
Yeah,
The,
there's like
Can- the,
the
the
best four.
Canadians, the Canadians could be good.
Canadians could be good too. You're right. They got some decent guys. Um, say half is like not half the contest isn't really anything to worry about. Like Brazil's team is a hodgepodge of random players, and Czech Republic they got plumbers and bankers on their team,
I like that.
but but one of those guys struck out Otani. Their ace pitcher can only throw like 80 miles an hour, but I guess he's got enough trickery to uh to throw these guys off. So it'll be fun. I'm glad we have something else to look forward to this summer. Um, it's in a few weeks, so I am excited.
Hey,
Oh, but real quick, back to the Mexican cartel stuff. Now that I'm looking at this list here, we'll see. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Because one thing I hadn't thought about um is the you know the fight for power, the power vacuum. With Mencho gone, now you got all the top guys are gonna fight amongst each other for power, right?
I
So
don't know. I don't know. They're always, yeah, it's territory. And it's like, is it any different on the West Bank, what the Israelis are doing over there? I mean, it's the same thing. Whenever, like the old standing law of war is anybody can take land from anybody else, but you got to be able to hold it, right? And so, did you see what Mike Huckabee said the other day? It was like over the weekend. Mike Huckabee, they asked questions. Somebody interviewed Huckabee,
Mike Huckabee,
Huckabee Hop, right? And he said, I think that God told the Jews that they can have between the Nile and the Euphrates. So they're really, if that's true, they could keep going at this point in time. And and they really are in some small ways, like the West Bank. It's contentious, man. They want more.
yeah, it's really a shitty situation. I feel I feel bad because I don't really know what the hell is actually happening. I can't help but wonder if there's like some conspiracy, like October 7th was allowed to happen. Israeli knew that the Hamas was going to attack that day, and so they allowed this to happen. It's their 9/11, and with
Yeah.
Epstein and all this crazy stuff happening in the background, man.
But
Like
the worst one is we got an aircraft carrier that's fully ready to go to war. It's sitting in right in the Middle East, not too far from Iran, and they have a bargaining session scheduled for Thursday. And the leader of Iran, the Khomeini, is basically saying that our government, we have to have the next four people listed. Who's going to take over second? Who's going to take over third? Who's going to take over fourth? Because the U.S. appears to be poised to bomb his ass and all his bomb making business if he doesn't come to the table because they keep enriching more and more nuclear,
Yeah,
weapons.
they're gonna try to do like a kamikaze when it's all over and try to just take out Israel, which is it's a scary thought. But there was a coup. Did you hear about the coup?
I hadn't, no.
So I guess they did try to take out Khomeini a couple days ago, and but the next guy who's taken over power, I forget his name, but he said he kind of blocked it from happening, and Khomeini's given all power to him while now he's like hiding. It's this guy with a beard and
They all got a
glasses.
beard. They all got a beard.
That's true. I can't spell this guy's.
Oh,
I'm
I don't
probably
know.
not spelling it right. Ugh. How do you spell this guy's? Where does this guy's? Yeah, point successor Ali Largiani, which sounds Italian because I'm mispronouncing it.
Let me have a look at you because I'm seeing the scalp of your head right
Uh, Now that I got his name, I can pull him up on my phone. Maybe one day we'll have this a little bit more high tech, but not now. Ali, oh, Lar, yeah, this guy.
now. He kind of looks westernized.
He's he's taken over, um, de facto leader. So that's what's happened. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. It just seems like Iran is mismanaging themselves and but they don't want to like give up power. They don't want to admit defeat. They don't want to give up power. Um,
Do you think all this going on in the Middle East is the reason why Obama's flapping his gums lately?
what has Obama said? Because I don't know.
Oh, you're gonna die. He was asked a couple questions in an interview late last week, like Friday, I believe it was, and he said that aliens are real and that they should the
Trump said
information about
that.
what?
Trump apparently said something like that. Like,
No. Well, first it was Obama. Obama said basically we should just declassify aliens. Everybody's interested in aliens. And some of the stuff I read as president seemed like it was interesting. I mean, they could not, there was definitely some things going on that were not of this earth, right? And so Trump said, well, Obama shouldn't be talking, but I guess I'll have to declassify this stuff. He could have declassified it. Any president could declassify anything, but he didn't do it. And so I might have to do it just to keep him from getting in trouble. So Trump is thinking about declassifying it. He goes, I don't know anything about it. And then they asked Trump,
it's just
do
weird
we
that
have
Obama would bring it up now. What does Obama stand to gain from talking about aliens now? It seems like he's helping
it,
Trump
it felt like he
distract
was,
the public.
yeah, that's my point. It felt like he was
Why would Obama do that? That seems like,
because too many eyes are looking at Epstein, too many eyes are looking at
is it
Iran.
I mean, because like, you know, I think the narrative they want you to believe is like it's blue versus red, but we know the truth is that a lot of them work together at the top. And is there a world where Trump and Obama actually help each other? I wouldn't say it's not possible,
I would
but
say
it
that
just seems so like
I would
I think
say
that would
that
upset a lot of people if they knew that.
anybody in the West can find common ground to a point, but it doesn't seem like we can find common ground with the Iranians.
Well, you mean the leadership, that's
Yeah,
for sure. I don't know what do they want exactly? They want to be able to continue enriching um uranium so they can always threaten Israel, but obviously we're not going to take that.
I think he
So
wants to eliminate Israel. While Israel's getting strong, he's more determined right now to eliminate. And I think that's why, in the end, that's why Trump put the big old, the big boat over there in the sea next to him to get bring him pause that he might, okay, you might launch at Israel, but you will be leveled, all your people will be leveled.
I wonder if they're letting
And
people leave the country right now. Because I feel like, if I was, one of these Iranians, I'd be like, we should like leave because it's getting too hot over here.
say
There's
that.
no water, and it sucks because all these border nations are like, damn, now our shit's getting complicated because we have all these refugees, and it just sucks for everybody
Well, as soon as the
involved.
aircraft carrier, as soon as the aircraft carrier got close to land, the immediately all the diplomats that were not absolutely necessary, everybody from Europe, everybody from America, Australia,
Yeah, our
kind
NATO
of
people got out. It didn't look like it.
all those people are leaving or have left.
I
They
thought
left
me
early.
and my coworker Jesus, we were like, what are your what are your bets that there's a strike over the weekend? He was like 80%. I said 60. So
Yeah, I
I
mean
was a little
on
bit more
golf,
right
the,
since nothing happened. Thank goodness.
the golf course yesterday, the consensus was about 50-50, probably more like 40-60 that Trump
Then
will get his way to back him down.
he
But
said, watch this drive.
but
They might strike
interestingly,
Iran.
Doug, we also had kind of how many, Doug started this conversation. He said that, all the Canadian girls on the hockey team are gay. And I went, wait a minute, all of them? And he goes, well, it's probably 50%. And I said, 50%? And he goes, well, I bet it's 40 to 50%. So I got him down to 40 to 50.
I like how he said confidently that they're all gay. And then you just go,
He said
really?
they're
And he
all.
goes, well, maybe 40. Okay, so that's not.
Well,
I just
that's
think
the
some
same.
people don't realize how powerful their exaggerations are. They're really
But
skewing things.
my point was your point well taken is that you can get somebody off an exaggerated position pretty quick because that's the same thing. Somebody said, we're probably going to hit Iran. I think Steve, you don't know Steve, but he said, looks like we're going to hit Iran by the end of the weekend. And Dan said, he goes, nah, it's probably only
Steve
about an eight.
wrong.
Dan goes, nah, probably only about an 80% chance. And then, of course, Doug went, it's probably 50-50. Now he's back to 50-50, just like he was on a gay topic. And I said, sounds like it's more like 40%. And everybody kind of walked to the next tee thinking, yeah, it's probably about 40%. So,
If you still have that group text, I'd text everybody on Wednesday, be like, what do we think now?
well, we'll see. Wednesday should be, as they get closer, will he stop enriching? And, has the CIA, have them and their groups and their contingencies and SEALs and everybody, that can pull that stuff off from an inside track. They're
hmm
probably working on their plans.
Well, we're still celebrating your birthday. So, what is your birthday wish for the Middle East?
I got to be honest with you. I really wish sometimes that we would just get it over with.
Oh God, what does that mean?
Just, I mean, let one guy launch, let the other guy launch,
No, we
and
can't
start
we can't let
over.
them launch,
I mean, this
please.
bickering, it's never going away. Like, eventually, somebody's got to punch somebody in the chin. I mean, I hate to say that. I really hate to say it. I just think that's the way of the world. It's getting closer and closer.
Hmm.
I feel bad about it too, because the Persian people that I've met, the ones that have, immigrated to US, they want nothing to do with that garbage. So the
Yeah.
average person that they've got in the streets, I don't know if you saw all the guys in black were fighting all the guys that were not in black the other day in the streets of Tehran. It was like they can't agree in the country.
No. And I get it. When they had the Shah, he was kind of a shyster and he stole. and now they have the religious government who are also turning out to be shysters in their own way by taking money for the
They're
people
fanatics.
and giving it to uh you know violent group
Hamas.
the
Yeah.
violent groups, the insurgents or whatever. And
Proxies.
so generation after generation is let down, and these people can't live in peace because their leadership keeps doing stupid things, and I just feel bad. I hope they can finally find some understanding and try to live in peace because I don't think
But
I like why can't Iran and Israel work together? Why is Iran so determined to blow them up? Why, even though it's the
look
same
at that.
God,
I mean,
it's the
are they
same
really
God
that?
that they fight, that they worship.
But are they really that different than us? We have the most outrageous president we've ever had. Okay,
And that's
and he
another
is,
thing. We can't like,
and
oh my God.
he's
We c-
dealing with our domestic problems that we've had for years. I mean, this immigration thing's been going on 25, 30 years where it's just out of control. All these things, the easy way was everybody is held accountable. The hard way is nobody's held accountable, and Americans get out of control over time.
and
And so there's
and that's how we end up with a guy like Trump who
exactly.
probably um violated tons of young women. Like that's how you get a guy like him to be presidency because the next group is like the because the Democratic group screwed up so bad
Yeah.
this that this many people wanted this, and now we're actually getting some sort of accountability, but we're also not because we're getting the Epstein files blocked, and it's just like we can't have our cake and eat it too ever, and every bill is wrought with some bad shit that nobody wants. Like I heard the voting law thing is good, but there's some bad shit in there that we don't want that's good for Trump that we're gonna have to say yes to get the voter ID law passed. So it's just like
Well, it's like a pendulum. I
everything
mean, it's
sucks a
like
little bit.
it's if the pendulum swings high enough to the left, it's going to swing higher to the right. If it swings too high to the right, it's going to swing even higher to the left. And it should over time balance somewhere in the middle. It's been a long time. I'm trying to think, when did we sit in the middle? I even, when John F. Kennedy was a Democrat, he was more like Trump. He was like, I'm tired of this bullshit. And he wanted to do something about it now. And of course, he got killed. There's
Yeah.
people that were too friendly with those other factions that said, no, we can't let this guy do this.
Yeah, was it I think it was like I guess his work with the civil rights and some interest group took him out, I guess,
Well, all I know is the day he
by
died,
way
even
of
as a,
the CIA.
yeah, the day he died, I remember looking at, you're looking at the faces in the crowd, and Lyndon Johnson, the vice president, he looked guilty. I remember just even as a kid going, who's that guy, mommy? That's Lyndon Johnson. Is that going to be our new president? I said, he's the one who did it. He just
Lin
looked guilty.
Lyndon was a pretty crazy guy, very intimidating from what I've read.
Yeah,
Love to
something tells
stand
me
and tower over you. Someone
something
should have
tells
just
me he was a guy that looked the other way when the talking head started saying, "Are we going to let this president keep doing what he's doing?"
yeah, I'm sure it was like just go along with it and you get to be president. I'm sure he maybe knew, but wasn't necessarily the guy who pulled the trigger or was asking for it, but just played his role, you know.
Yeah, you ever seen the cartoon where the cat's trying to eat the bird, and he hasn't swallowed the bird yet, but it's in his mouth? That's what he looked like. He had the damn bird in his mouth. He knew.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So yeah, I wonder what's gonna happen with everything. I wonder if Mexico will continue. Well, obviously they gotta finish what they started with the young Jalisco new generation. But then after that, what's the next? The Zetas?
Yeah, well, it's no different. Again, in our United States, I think people are starting to understand that if you want to get good ICE agents and you don't want them to all die in, pulling the cartel and the bad guys out of these big cities where they're hiding, they're going to have to go in mass. I mean, I ask it every time I'm with my friends. Tell me a better way to do this. Like Tony was saying, I hate the way, you know, Trump's going about this. And Doug was saying that yesterday. I'm saying, okay, what's a better way? How would you want to go in if you're an ICE agent? Do you want to go in with numbers and intimidate so nobody stands against you? Or do you want to go one at a time and take guys out? And they all said, you got to go in with numbers. Otherwise, you don't have anybody who's got your back. So there's no better way to do it. I've come to that conclusion. You tell me. I mean, nobody can come up with a better way. How would you do it? And do you want to show your face on TV that you're an ICE agent? Heck no. Heck no. Just like the people throwing rocks at them, they don't want to show their face either. Everybody wants to be able to do it and get away with it.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the solution
It's
is. I think
it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
well let's do what the what everyone who's against ICE, let's have it their way. And what do you think the people who are against ICE would want?
Well,
Just
they
ICE
had
for to stop and
no,
for everyone who's illegal, here's a citizenship card. You're now a citizen.
no, no, no. They had their way. They already had their way, Ted. They had their way. They could have said, "You're illegal, give yourself up. You're illegal, give yourself up." No, they want anybody and everybody, doesn't matter, to be illegal. I mean, to be legal that's illegal. And that doesn't work for me. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Everybody, Naomi, she said, come forward. We'll get you started on the process. If you're not here as a felon, you will start the process. We will give you a work visa. And everybody ran and hid. So
I'm sure
there was
there
a
are
way.
quite a few like felons amongst, but not all of them are. And okay,
But
so like there are but I'm just trying to give benefit of the doubt to the people that are against ICE, and against everything that's happening. And I'm trying to think of what would they want and is it sustainable to provide?
right. And don't forget, there's people that are just against government control completely. So whatever they're trying to do, I'm going to go and yell out the street and throw rocks. That's just, and it's kind of funny. Mary, your mom and I both noticed this. In America, you never see the Jewish people protesting. I mean, I think they realize they got it pretty doggone good in America. They're very quiet. They write letters. They talk to their congressmen. They draft up lawsuits, but you don't see them out there armed and ready to fight. They're not. They don't like civil unrest.
Hmm.
They came here to avoid it. So.
I can't really speak on that because I don't go into the crowds of protesters and go, what are you? What are you?
Well, when you were
Um,
at college, do you remember something that was not kind of faith-based that Jewish people got together and
I don't
stewed about?
remember seeing anybody getting together at UC Irvine for anything besides like maybe a couple parties in school. Like there weren't really protests or demonstrations on our campus. We weren't the campus for demonstrations.
Well, we had, I saw a couple peaceful Palestinian things from time to time, and
I'm
I
sure you did.
remember, I remember at work we had Myanmar at our headquarters. They were bitching at us about
My
slave.
and my and yours.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know. That was a
I've
bad
seen
joke.
I've seen civil unrest. I've never seen uncivil. I've never been a part of it. I've never wanted to go to one of these rallies. I mean, something bad could go on, could happen to you. You never know,
I
right?
heard somewhere that this is the most Americans have protested in our history, like these days, like lately, or something like that. And I feel like they don't. I don't know that because I don't feel like the media gives a lot of attention to the protest crowds, but I think that's sort of like, because the media is controlled by billionaires, so it's like why would they want to like show people are upset in the country? They want to show that everything is fine. There's no reason to be upset and don't join the
Overall numbers,
protest. Huh?
Ted, the overall numbers are incredibly different.
I
Like
can't
when
hear you.
you're
What?
the numbers are so skewed and different today because of population. When we were in Phoenix last week, it was so crowded. There was so much traffic. I went, okay, I Googled when we moved there in 1995, what was the population? The extended metro was 2.4. Okay. What's the population today? 5.2. It more than doubled. It more than doubled. Okay. So you just got way more people. And that does, that means more people with contrary, kind of opinions. So I would say if you try to kind of scale it, it's probably not that different. It's probably not that different.
All right, so you're saying there's just more people, there's more
Yeah.
civil unrest, but there's definitely like some weird economic things going on that I don't really understand. Like I heard somewhere that the like we created these tariffs to sort of have our way, against our opposition in the markets, but I've heard that maybe we're not going to take tariffs away. Like now why? Well, if we've already won the economic battle, like why wouldn't we take the tariffs away?
Well, I think you do have to gradually take them away.
Yeah, like this inflation, these excessive, I mean,
But Ted,
America, like here's the thing, and here's the thing about the tariffs that I never really understood about Trump. And like the tariffs hurt us. It's hurting, you know, our opposition, but it's hurting them worse. So I just think it's sort of a group effort what we're doing. But Trump never really included the country when he said we're doing this tariffs thing. And he could have said, this is like, hey, we're doing this to try to get, the upper hand in this thing. He's, he never really kind of took us along with the plan. He just said, I'm doing it and I don't know when he's going to stop.
let me
And
explain
I
it to you.
feel like a lot of people are upset with Trump because he's not like easing up on things. And it's like we a lot of people brought you into the presidency to help with the economic situation, and we're not seeing it yet.
But part of the economic situation is that countries all over the world charging us outrageous tariffs. Okay. They're doing that to us, and we were not charging any tariffs. So he started lifting our tariffs to them to equalize the imbalance. Our problem is that we started shipping our jobs away when the Environmental Protection Agency got very huffy about standards in our manufacturing. We started sending it to China, to different places. We started buying more from others so that they would have the environmental mess. Okay. And of course, that was stupid because, China, perfect example, they got no environmental controls.
Yeah, they're
India,
not
no,
gonna they're not
no
gonna try to
controls.
like regulate themselves.
So they're
So
they're spinning up the time of the life cycle of killing the planet. They're spinning it up. So part of it is we've got to create the jobs back here, do it better, cleaner, faster, and get those jobs back. The problem is, and I wrote an op-ed on this months ago, that do we have the aptitude here to actually get our hands dirty and do the manufacturing work that we once did? And I got to be honest with you, the argument, and I did the research, it came out against us that we're not mentally and physically positioned to do our own work anymore. And it would take 20 years. It will take. We should do it. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen tomorrow.
yeah, that's the problem is it's gonna take beyond, you know, a
So a
single
presidency.
administration.
Yeah.
So we could get the ball rolling on this, and then I'm just trying to think why would the Democrats stop it? other than maybe just because it would make Republicans look good. And let's be honest, there's a lot of
They would
parties
stop
will
it.
stop that just because of things like that, and then people don't get.
They would stop it because it wasn't their idea. It's just
That's
that
what I'm
simple.
saying, and that's like the shitty thing about politics is like one party could actually be bringing something helpful to the country, but the other party will stop it. It's like, oh, because I'm not doing it, and I don't want you guys to look good, and you know,
Hey Ted, I'm coming up on a hard time break. I hope you're
I am too. I have to go to
okay.
work. So
Okay.
once
So
again, but
let
hey, I put a something in the doc. You mentioned a article. Do you want to put that here so I could put it in the
which
link?
article?
I don't know.
What?
You just talked about an
Oh,
article right now that you wrote about
yeah.
something. Like that sounds relevant. Maybe you should put it
Okay.
here.
I put it here. Okay, put it on the sheet. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
do that.
I said give me that link here.
Okay, I'll do it as soon as we get off. And I will also go to the YouTube channel to figure out what you're doing and to look at the others because there's some people that have been asking me, hey, can I get a copy of that? So I
Yeah.
need to be able to send that link to like Matthew and a couple others.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
let me know what you need and we'll do it.
All right, I'll send you that document. Peace.
Peace and
Have a gr-
love,
have a great
old
day. Can't
man.
wait to see you Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Have a good
Love
day.
you.
Take care. Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.